Hey, let's get it, Teal Nation. Sam Wiederhaft with you for another episode of the Chant Pod as college basketball season has officially begun. And what a start it was for the Chants. Today we're checking back in with the women's team coming off an incredible 65-62 victory at Central Michigan in their season opener. One player that introduced herself was Delaware State transfer Savannah Brooks. She picked up 17 points, but none more important than the go-ahead layup with 10 seconds to go that gave Coastal the lead. After that, she knocked down a free throw, and Coastal moved to 1-0 to start the season. So Savannah came in to break down those final moments and recap that first game while also taking us through her basketball journey that led her to Conway. Here it is, my conversation with Savannah Brooks. Well, we've been preparing for basketball season for a long time, and now we've got actual games to talk about. And the women's basketball team got a big win in their season opener, 65-62 at Central Michigan. And to run us through it, we're talking with guard Savannah Brooks. Savannah, I appreciate the time.
Of course.
What a great win that was, a come-from-behind victory. Just take me through that game and how the team is feeling after that season opening win.
We started really slow. We knew we had to come back and throw a big punch, and we kept fighting back play by play, and it really felt nice to be able to get that team win. Like, it was a big fight to come back from that, so it felt really nice.
You were the hero of that game with a go-ahead layup with 10 seconds to go to win the game. It was an and one. You went to the free throw line. Just take me through that whole moment that gave your team the win.
My point guard came over, got me the ball, gave me a little hole, and I felt like I saw it and went, and we got the foul, and I knew I just had to try to put it in, and my teammates corralled me after that. It was so amazing. It was a great team moment. After that, I knew we were going to lock down and take it.
Yeah, how cool was that being a new player on this team, transferring over from Delaware State, and to have a moment where your team is just so proud of you and so happy for you? Just how cool was that moment for you?
It's a full circle moment. I mean, coming from a lower D1 school and then coming up here and just playing with everybody who's coming from lower D1 schools and stuff, it's a big turnaround for us to be able to all come together from different places and different backgrounds and just be able to pull that out. It's a very big win.
The impressive thing was you go to the free throw line and you make the free throw to make it a 3-point game and put it basically out of reach for Central Michigan. Mm-hmm. What were you thinking when you went up there? I mean, was the environment pretty tough, and how much pressure was on you to make that free throw?
Yeah, they had a pretty good crowd. They had a very loud gym, but it was just I knew I had to focus and put it in. It's what I have to do as a guard.
Mm-hmm. What does it say about this team you guys went down by 17 in that second quarter, came all the way back and got the win? What does it say about the resiliency of this group?
Yeah, we're going to fight to the last second. It doesn't matter who we're playing against or how far in the deficit we are, we're going to play, and we're always going to think we're going to win. So
I know it's game one, obviously a lot of season to play, but a win like that, what is that? How does that set the tone for this team moving forward and just give you guys momentum?
I mean, yeah, we know we have a lot of things to work on because we did give them the lead early, and we knew we shouldn't have done that. But being able to come back like that says a lot about who we are and what we're capable of. So we know for next time we're going to keep our foot down and just start it from the beginning, start from the jump.
Not only the game-winning layup for you, but also 17 points. A great first game to introduce yourself to Teal Nation and head coach Kevin Pedersen, who I know plays with a very fast style of basketball. I look at the box score. I don't know if there was a single player that didn't get in. You guys were just going back and forth, rotating substitutions. What do you think so far of this fast style of play that Coach Pedersen likes?
I love it. I love that everybody gets to play, and you can trust everybody to come in and do their job. We know if we go out there and work hard for the time we're in there, we're going to get a break and get rewarded at the end of the day and be able to trust the next person to come in. Everybody's ready on the bench. Everybody's ready to come in.
You had practice shortly before this interview.
Yeah.
What'd you say, 8 to 11 is the time on Tuesday and Thursdays? When you guys have such a fast style of play, what does practice look like? I mean, how tough are practices to prepare you for game?
I mean, we practice hard every day. It's not you don't get time off. You don't in a practice. It's one thing after the next. We're constantly moving. So every drill you got to go hard. Every rep is hard. You're just gonna move on from one drill to the next, and you got to win every drill. So
you came over here from Delaware State, which was pretty close to where you grew up at in Maryland. Why did you decide it was time for a change, and why was Coastal that spot for you?
I was ready to play at the next level, and I also went to high school down in South Carolina, and I love the area, and I know a lot of people from down here. It's my second home, so being able to come back down and play for this state and play for this area is a blessing.
How did that work out? How were you in Maryland, and then how did you get to South Carolina for high school?
I had a very slow recruitment in high school. I wasn't really getting many offers. I kind of had like D2s and JUCOs, and it was just time for a change. I needed to get a name for myself, so I went to like Sierra College, and I had some connections, and they worked me hard to get here.
Yeah. Take me through that recruitment process when you go in the transfer portal and Coastal reaches out to you. What were some of the first things that drew you into this program?
I mean, I always knew about Coastal since I was like little. I mean, they're on the beach, you know. And then once I took my visit, you know, it was like family. Like the coaches, the players, they all took me in. I seen some of the recruits they already had, and I just trusted it.
This season has many new players, yourself included. That starting lineup for the Central Michigan game had 4 new players with one returner, Lancia Ramsey, who's been on the podcast before. But with so many new players, how has this team come together, and what's the chemistry like right now?
We all just want to win. That's what brings us together. We all are hungry for wins, and the chemistry is high. Like, we all hang out off the court. We all go eat together. Like, it's no phones. We're a very close group, so it's nice to be able to have all these transfers and get along the way we do. When
Lancia was on, she told us about the thing that you guys have with the assistant coaches. Every coach has like 3 to 4 different players. Who's your coach?
Coach Tatum.
Okay, and what's that relationship like? Like, what's the what's kind of the coach's responsibility, and how does that add to the team chemistry?
Yeah, I love Coach T. She keeps track of like our green and our red shots, like what shots are good and what shots are bad. But for me personally, she makes sure I'm just, you know, on my academics, on my, like, doing what I have to do in practice to get along. Like, it's really nice to be able to have her, to be able to talk to, and I need her.
Do you remember that first practice when you got to Coastal? Were there nerves going? Were you kind of nervous about it?
Yes, I was very nervous. My teammates and coaches know about that one. But, yeah, I was very nervous when I got here. I just want to be able to do my best and be the best I can be. And the coaches know that I'm very hard on myself. But
yeah. What was the turning point where you were like, okay, I feel comfortable. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be at?
Yeah. Coach P and, well, really all my coaches, they kept telling me, like, I belong here. Like, I'm good enough. Like, they kept giving me that reassurance that, like, I belong. Like, I'm going to be okay. So it gave me the confidence to be like, okay, I can settle in and just do what I do. Trust myself.
A new team, a new program. You get to this team, nervous for that first practice. All of a sudden, you guys go to Greece.
Yeah.
Last summer. What was that experience like?
It was amazing. It was a very good time. A very good time to be able to team bond and, you know, just be our authentic selves and just grow as a group. It taught us a lot, and we got to be able to play against the Bulgarian national team, and it was just everybody got their groove, and we learned how we were going to be as a team and what was working and what wasn't. So it was a very good experience for our team overall.
Had you been out of the country before?
Yes, only in the Caribbean though.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little vacation down there?
Yeah, never been to like Europe or anything.
Well, how long was the flight to get there?
I think it was like 11 hours, 11 plus maybe. Yeah.
You guys had some travel problems on the way there too?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure like moments like that when you're with the team in the airport, I mean, I'm sure that kind of brings you guys all together when everyone's going through the same thing.
I mean, that whole first day we were in the airport, from crack of dawn to nighttime. So it was a lot of team bonding going on. You had to make do. So.
Yeah, no thank you.
Yeah.
Don't want that at all.
Yeah.
Let's talk basketball and your kind of game because you shoot really well from outside. I got to go back to the numbers here, but 26% from 3 your freshman season. Your sophomore year, you improved that to 35%. You went 2 of 4 from 3 in your first game here at Coastal. Yeah. How much work have you put into that to try and improve?
A lot. You know, we have to get at least 500 makes from 3 a week outside of like what we do in practice or workouts and stuff. So it's a lot of work that goes into that, a lot of reps. It's not even just threes, just form, perfecting everything, footwork.
And you said that's outside of practice.
Yes.
So that's all on you to get in the gym.
Yes.
How self-motivated of a person are you?
Very. Just very.
Yeah. When you're done with the game, are you going back like immediately and watching the film?
On the bus.
I get the sense of that.
On the bus, yeah. I'll be on the bus and went back to the hotel watching it, of course, right after the game, win or loss.
Yeah. How much do you think you've improved so far from your freshman season at Delaware State to just where you're at now?
A ton. I think I'm definitely more comfortable handling the ball and like getting downhill. And of course, I had knee surgeries after my freshman year, and like I'm feeling way more healthy and just way more comfortable.
How tough was that rehab to come back from? Obviously, knee surgery is a pretty intense surgery, and it takes a lot of work to get back to form. So take me through that rehab process and what you went through.
Yeah, so when I got my first knee done, it was in May, early May of last year, and I was in a straight leg cast or a brace for about a month and a half, and then I had my right knee surgery, so I had to learn how to walk on my left leg.
Oh my gosh.
And then I got my right knee done, and I was in a straight leg cast for the same amount of time, and then I had to start my rehab, and I wasn't really supposed to come back, but I came back in November just to play because I just love the game, so I just wanted to play.
You sped up that process.
Yeah.
Me as a broadcaster, I couldn't imagine not being able to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's just what I'm used to. So how much does it eat at you when you're injured and you can't get on the floor just to get back out there?
Yeah, it definitely eats at you. You want to be able to help your team or do what you can you just want to be with your team, period. If you feel a little left out but yeah, you find a way.
I mentioned your outside shooting. Where is your favorite spot to shoot at on the floor?
Not the corner. I like the 45.
Okay.
I like the 45. That's like the best spot for me.
And that's where you drove in for the game-winning layup against Central Michigan from right out there.
Yeah, the 45 is my spot.
Yeah. How much confidence do you think you've built in yourself as a player throughout the years?
Definitely a lot. I know I came in as a freshman in college, and I was not that confident. I was like, I'm little fish again, all over again. So it takes a minute to build that up, and I feel like my teammates and my coaches throughout the years have definitely helped me with that.
Well, how important is it to have that moment against Central Michigan when you mention you're a new player, it's a new environment, but just to have that, to make a name for yourself, not only for the fans, but also your team as well?
It just means a lot. I just want people to trust us and know that we're going to give it everything we got. I'm going to give it everything I got every game. My teammates included. I just want everybody to trust us and know that we're coming. You
mentioned your love for the beach, one of the big reasons you wanted to come here. How well have you adapted to the Conway area so far?
I think I'm pretty good. I like it. There's a lot of food options, so that's good. But yeah, I think I've adapted pretty well.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Just the food.
Yeah.
Do you like going to the beach? Is that something that you go to pretty often?
Yeah, it's like a little safe spot.
Okay. What do you, besides going to the beach, what are some things that you're doing off the floor to just kind of take your mind off basketball?
I like to read. I like to play video games. I like to go to the gym. I like to just hang out with my teammates. Sometimes we'll just get food and come back and talk and watch the football games or watch something on TV together. We go everywhere together. So I just like to hang out with my teammates. But when I'm alone time, I like to read, go to the beach, shopping sometimes.
What kind of books are you into? Because I don't know when the last time I read a book. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a long time. So what's the genre that you're rocking with?
I like motivational books, books about just wisdom and getting out of your head and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I also just like romance novels. I'm big into romance novels.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I don't know if I can get into that genre. But the motivational stuff, I think I would love. That would definitely help. Your mom played basketball in college. How much of an impact has she had in your career?
Yeah, my mom was my coach all the way up until late middle school. And I remember she taught me discipline from a very young age, so I really needed that. Yeah, she's played a huge part in my career. She's always supported me, always been at every game. She makes sure she's here. She'll be here at her first home game next week. So,
is she back in Maryland?
Yes.
Okay. Is it kind of a weird feeling when you're a younger kid having a parent as a coach when there's that? You want to be a parent, but you also want to be a coach as well. Is it kind of weird for you?
I mean, yeah, but not really. She made it in practice. She was my coach. She made it clear she was not my mom.
Yeah.
So it was easy. Once I got adapted to it, it was pretty easy.
When I was a young kid, my dad was a coach for my Little League baseball team, and that year, he did it for 1 year. And that year, I was horrible because I put so much pressure on myself. Because I was like, I got to impress my dad. He's my coach. But no, it sounds like you guys have a great constructive relationship.
Yeah.
Back in Maryland, how often do you get to go back and visit home?
Not too often. I'll fly back for Thanksgiving, and I'll be back for Christmas. But when I do go back, I like to, visit all my people back there. So.
Were there any players that you grew up watching or teams that you grew up watching and wanting to play like?
Kevin Durant. I love Kevin Durant. That's my favorite player. He's just a dominant scorer. you can't guard him. So I always wanted to just play like him, be like him, just in every aspect.
Yeah, take that aggressive mentality and put it in
I like
game.
his shoes, so.
Hey, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
What kind of shoes are you rocking with right now?
Right now I'm just wearing, the shoes, the Under Armour shoes that they give us, but I do miss my KDs, so.
Take us into being a women's basketball player. How many shoes do you guys get for the season here at Coastal?
Well, how many do you want?
So that's it depends on the player.
If you're comfortable, if you're comfortable in the shoes you have, they make sure you have what you need. But I know I have very arched feet, so some of the shoes that they give us, they're not very comfortable with me. But they made sure I had the shoes that are right for my feet.
Do you have a practice pair and a game pair?
Yeah, I wear my blue pair to practice, and in games I'm rocking with the white ones right now.
Nice.
But yeah, my blue ones are pretty beat up because I just wear them every practice. But they're comfortable. I like those.
Yeah.
I've never worn Under Armour shoes in my whole life for sports and stuff. I've always been on Nike or Jordan teams. So.
Yeah. The same thing for me when I got here. I got decked out in Under Armour. And now I can't wear anything else. It's awesome. Yeah. No, I did the radio for women's basketball 4 years ago at this point. So I traveled with the team, and I remember our director of basketball operations at the time gave me this huge suitcase just full of all this stuff. A jacket, this was one of the shirts, a whole bunch of stuff. It's pretty nice to have those perks as a player, just getting all that nice swag.
It is.
Yeah. So 17 points from you in that first game. You have the game-winning shot at the end of it, Savannah. I just want to know, to close this out, what else can we expect from you and this team the rest of the season?
From me, you can always expect 110%. I'm going to always go out there and give it whatever I got. And from this team, you can expect the same. Everybody's going to go out on that floor, and you're not going to see one possession off. And we're going to hold each other to that standard too. So,
9th in the preseason poll. I know that when Ramsey was on, she said that you guys talked about that as a team. How motivated is this team to break that wall down and make an impact in league play this year?
Oh yeah, very motivated. I know we're not the 9th ranked team in this conference, and we're ready to show that. We got a lot of new transfers, and we think that that's probably why, but they don't know what kind of transfers we got. So we're ready to come in and prove them wrong.
They don't know about us.
They don't.
They don't know about us. Savannah.
We say that all the time. We're they just don't know.
That's fine. The team motto.
Yeah.
Savannah, really appreciate the time. That home opener is November 13th against UNC Greensboro. Cannot wait to see you on the floor. And good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right, Savannah, thank you again for coming on. Expecting her to be a big player for the Chants this season. One of the many skilled transfers brought in by Coach Pedersen. Coastal is back at it on the road on Sunday against Charleston Southern before that home opener on the 13th against UNCG. And speaking of home openers, how fun was that first men's game? A 60-56 win over Western Michigan at the HTC Center on Monday night in front of the biggest crowd in 3 years. New head coach Justin Gray had his boys playing hard. The defense was really impressive, and Rasheed Jones led the Chants with 15 points in his first game in teal. Coastal is now on the road this weekend. They got East Carolina on Saturday at 4 p.m. Well, the reason I might not have as much energy this time around is because I left it all out on Thursday night at Brooks Stadium. What a game that was for Coastal football. A 38-24 win over App State. Their third straight win over the Mountaineers. A really special environment at Brooks Stadium. A blacked out Brooks Stadium. We got Josh Norman back. Grayson McCall returned to a huge applause from the crowd. And the Chants really just dominated from start to finish. The Conwaves showed up in full force, stormed the field after. Just a great night. Coastal's next game is at Marshall next weekend, so a few extra days before taking on the Thundering Herd. Soccer is all wrapped up. The men's team fell 2-1 in their season finale to UCF on Tuesday. Remember, the Chants tied 3 top 10 teams this year, so plenty to be proud of, and it was a fun season to be a part of. Women's soccer made an impact in the Sun Belt tournament with a huge upset in the quarterfinals. Julia Ziegenfuss scored 2 goals, and the Chants knocked off second-seeded South Alabama 2-1 on Monday night. They fell in the semifinal match to Texas State, but congratulations to the women's soccer team on a great season. Hopefully something now to build on in the future. Volleyball is turning it up at the right time. The Chants took both matches against Georgia Southern on the road last weekend, where friend of the podcast, Jalen Stout, broke her own NCAA record, her 15th triple-double in the Saturday match. And that's just awesome because we had her on for the very first episode of the Chant Pod before the season even started, and now she's continuing to kill it in her second season. The final 2 opportunities to watch the Chants at home this season are this weekend, Friday at 6 and Saturday at 2, as the Chants bring in Texas State to keep their momentum going. Looking at this weekend, women's tennis is hosting the CCU Battle at the Beach from the Stevens Tennis Complex Friday through Sunday. And men and women's cross country finished up their seasons at the Sun Belt Championships last Friday. The women finished 4th, while the men finished 8th overall. Congratulations to Molly Jones, Addison Laughlin as well, for earning all Sun Belt honors on the women's side. Jones finished 5th, while Laughlin crossed the finish line 14th. Also, congratulations to Adam Groves for being the top Chanticleer men finisher at 15th place. Well, that's what we call crossover season, folks. The fall sports are coming to an end. Winter sports are ramping back up. It's a fun time to be in Conway, let me tell you that. There's a lot happening. Thank you to Savannah once again as we look forward to seeing more of her this season, and we will see you next week for another episode of the Chant Pod. I'm Sam Wiederhaft. Chants up.